Thank you for joining the Friends Eye View spoilers. My name is Shaun. I'm with my buddy Jose.
Hello, hello.
So Jose, when I was picking this movie, like I said, I don't look at reviews, don't look at anything. I just kind of pick it.
Okay.
Off the title, how it ends, and obviously how it was spec'd, you kind of assume that it was kind of the end of the world type movie.
Sure.
Which can be kind of fun, you know. So before we start, how did you rate this bad boy?
Well, I was entertained. I didn't like a couple of things, but it wasn't that bad of a bad thing that I rated the movie lower than what I should have or what I wanted to. So I gave it a 7 because I was entertained. You look at things that happen if it is the end of the world and how people start to panic and how people start to just change. If you think humanity is bad now, and in an event like that, you'll see humanity at its worst. So I was entertained. I like Forrest Whitaker anyway. So I ended up giving the movie a 7.
Yeah, so I was kind of a toss-up. There were some things that were good about it, some things that weren't so good about it.
Okay.
So I was going down my list. And the max I could give this is a 5.
Really? Wow. Okay. Do tell.
which means if I saw it on Netflix scrolling down, I could watch it. It's not going to be something that I would search for on Netflix or probably would watch. I would just have to be like, there's nothing else to watch. Let me watch this,
Fair enough.
Obviously you had your protagonist, like all the actors and actresses were good based on their roles,
Yes.
You had your protagonist, Will. He's been in, I forget the actor's name, but he's been in several movies. I've seen him before. Like, he has some pretty decent acting chops.
You're talking about the star Theo James?
Theo James. Yeah. The antagonist, which I'm going to mention this a little bit later, was the Jeremiah guy.
Yeah.
And I'm going to rip that one the fuck apart.
Oh. I may have an answer, a rebuttal to your ripping of the apart. Okay, go ahead.
Feel free. The problem was to save Samantha.
Okay.
The inciting event I thought was kind of interesting. Like, he knocked up Samantha.
Sure.
Decides he's going to do what's right and get married to her.
Sure.
Wants to get Tom's blessing, which is Forrest Whitaker.
Sure. Okay.
Flies all by him fucking self to somewhere else to do that. I don't remember if they even mentioned what city he was in.
Chicago,
right?
He went. Yep, from Seattle to Chicago.
Cool. Yeah, I kind of missed that.
Yeah, but he had a business meeting in Chicago. So,
well, listen.
Okay, go ahead. All right, go ahead.
Stating what the inciting event is.
Yep.
Flew there, tried to, and I like the little conflict that they had with Will and Forrest Whitaker's.
Okay.
I like Tom and Will's like dynamic because Tom kind of had like the protect my daughter mentality,
as all fathers do. Okay.
Will was, at least his character seemed to be like a decent boyfriend.
Sure.
So I like that little dynamic that they had, because that was kind of a real dynamic, because I've been in those types of dynamics where we both have that person's interest at heart, but you don't see eye to eye on things. And I know how challenging that can be. So the midpoint I thought was kind of cool, where they tried to help that girl and then got jumped. And then Forrest Whitaker dies, which I'm like, man, I was kind of rooting for him to make it through.
Yep.
they killed him off, and then Ricky left.
Yeah.
And then the climax is obviously where he shoots the antagonist, Jeremiah.
Okay.
You know, some of the interesting things that I liked about it is, and also it's also a challenge as well, is you don't know what really happened.
True.
But the problem is they never actually tell you what happened.
That's true. Also true.
It was all speculation the whole way through. Like even the antagonist, which we're going to pick on Jeremiah's ass here in a moment.
Sure.
But even he had speculations of what had happened, you know? But nobody actually mentions what happened. Usually in movies, there's plot specific information.
Okay.
That is required in a story for it to make sense.
Okay.
What we know is something happened off the coast somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, it affected the Western seaboard, you know?
Yep. Okay.
Now, how far it went, nobody really knows because they focused really on the West, you know? Was it a nuke? Was it not a nuke? Was it something natural? Was it EMF attack? At some point, you need to let me know
what it was.
Yeah. What it was, instead of just the speculation, you know, like
well, for me, I thought they did that on purpose, but at the end, you saw that cloud of fire and lightning and everything.
Which I'm going to pick on as well, because...
And Will says it's happening again. So what is happening again?
Exactly, but that's what I'm getting at. And that's also what I was going to point out in the challenge section. But yeah, like in the end, like they tried to do a cliffhanger, which I'm a fan of. And that's what that was a cliffhanger. So you go, did they survive? Like, what happened? But you just had smoke and fire and whatever happening, but you never explained what the fuck was happening originally.
Yeah.
Because you're saying it's happening again, right?
Sure.
But what the fuck was it that happened originally? Now, if you want to hold off that information as long as you can, some information you can do that with.
Sure.
Then that's fine. But at some point, you still got to fucking tell me so I can go, aha, now it makes sense to me. I did like the fact that they did what you were saying, where they kind of realistically, it went to Mad Max, you know, as far as how the world worked.
Sure.
Which is realistically what would happen.
Sure.
If you have instability in the future, power is out because you don't
know who to trust. Everything becomes something that you need. You're going to need gas. If you want to get around, you're going to need food. You're going to need water. So everything becomes more than, you know.
And you're going to need a gun because people are going to try to kill you.
Exactly.
Your stuff.
Yep.
And so I liked how they realistically showed the digression.
Sure. Of
how quickly it would turn to that. Because in real life, because when you looked at the city, when he went into the city, it looked like an attack of some sort.
Sure. I wouldn't say it was nuclear because he wouldn't be able to.
Yeah. No, what I'm saying is it looked like an attack. Like sure. They didn't mention that at all. I'm just going off on the basis.
Exactly.
That looks like something you would see in the Gaza Strip, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it looked very apocalyptic, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So, but how quickly it went to Mad Max.
Sure.
Like it went to Mad Max real quick. Like, oh shit, we have no power. I mean, we're on like day 2 and we're already on Mad Max.
Yeah.
I think in real life, I think that's about all that it would take.
Yeah. When you lose power, you lose everything. You don't know what's going on. There's no news. There's no way of getting news. And you have bits and pieces of information. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I could see it happening.
I like that they went with high risk and they were escalating the risk and continuously escalating the risk. And I thought that was good, you know?
Yes, exactly.
So now my challenges.
Okay. I'll pick them apart. Go ahead.
You know what? Let's do it. I mean, that's what this is for, okay?
Well, let's see. I may be in agreement as well. So let's see.
All right, so first things first, let's pick on the elephant in the room, Jeremiah.
Yes.
Okay. The antagonist by default in a story is a person or thing that is standing between the protagonist and whatever the goal was, right? So the problem was, yes, he needs to save Samantha.
Okay.
Was the antagonist really standing in the way of that? Was he creating the conflict didn't even happen between the antagonist and the protagonist until they fucking met right before the climax. So it was almost like he was like an afterthought.
Okay.
You know, like the antagonist could have been a government agency. It could have been something.
Yeah.
Fuck, it could have been.
It could have been the event itself.
Yeah, it could have been the event itself. It could have been fucking Whitaker. Whitaker's character could have been the goddamn antagonist.
Sure.
But he just appears out of nowhere, and now they're neighbors. Now they're neighbors because they say neighbor, right?
But they were neighbors in the building, and that.
What I'm getting at, oh, you didn't even let me fucking finish.
Because you're seeing it wrong.
Are we gonna have a podcast here? You gonna let me finish?
You're seeing it wrong, but okay, go ahead.
Look, man. So he said neighbor. They obviously never met each other before because they acted like motherfucking strangers, wanted to kill each other from the get-go. So it was like, to me, it felt like a very afterthought. They're like, oh, we need an antagonist, so it's gonna be this guy Jeremiah, who's apparently in love with Sam. But it's like, so now as a guy, I'm asking some questions too. How long have you two been fucking? How long you two been together? Because this dude fell in love with you, and I know you fucking him when you thought that. No, look, this is my thought, okay?
Okay.
While you thought Will was dead, because he clearly said you guys thought Will was dead, you were fucking her. She's also pregnant, so is this Will's baby? So I need a DNA test to know if this is Will's baby. Okay? Sam belongs to the streets, okay? Sam is a 304. Now, she is a beautiful 304, but she's a 304, and the only reason why she's going to live happily ever after with Will is because the world is fucking ending. And she has a lack of men she can go with that is at Will's level. Will is too good for her. That's my thoughts on Jeremiah.
You have got turned this dark real quick, real fast. See, my thing is, they were neighbors because they were in the building. Maybe Will was so adamant about working so much that he didn't take notice of that person in the building. And when shit hits the fan in the apartment building that they're in, you're going to go with the first person that's probably going to help save your life. Hey,
Yeah.
I have a cabin over here in the country, so we can hide out here for a little bit. That's why she wrote on the wall, hoping that Will was going to show up and just, this is where I will be. Now, in an event like that, you will have someone that says, okay, I've got the perfect plan.
No,
I have this country house. I can take care of this woman. I don't have to go around looking for another woman. I can sit there and make this woman mine if her husband's not there. And eventually she will have feelings for me. That's how I took it, because if you paid attention,
I really paid attention.
You could have that love,
strengths.
The love between Will and Samantha was indestructible, because she even called her father, who they respected so much, and says, hey, tell Will, and it cut off. So even I love you, Dad, but tell Will this,
Look.
That's how I saw it. So we saw it in two different ways, which a good movie does do that for you. So
no. I know women who love their men. like truly love their men. Doesn't change the fact that in this particular situation or even in real life, they aren't really 304s, and that baby ain't Will's. So I'm gonna go with her and Jeremiah were smashing it out, or maybe they hadn't cheated yet, but when they were at the cabin, they were smashing. Okay, when they were at the cabin, they were smashing, and I don't even think I don't think that baby's his. Okay, that's all. Right. But I felt the Jeremiah character was it was just kind of weird, you know. I don't know how they would have done it better.
Yeah,
I just like, for me, like, he's the antagonist, but like I don't even know that he's the antagonist until the damn climax.
Well, see, for me, it's a fear thing. You saw your entire city get demolished with by whatever force or whatever happened. And then, so and if you're thinking your soon-to-be husband is dead, I'm sure that either Jeremiah had a girlfriend, didn't have a girlfriend. He's a software engineer, so he probably didn't have one. But, but you know, and you have an
woods.
You have an
and he was smashing out on Sam. Okay,
you have an instant family right here. And then you go into it's us against them mentality. So anything that's not in our immediate bubble is going to be a threat, because we already know how the world's going to change. If you have a catastrophic event like that, you don't know who to trust. And they built that up as well, because their lady was on the road. They didn't want to leave her there. And then all of a sudden, 3 guys come out with shotguns just to take the gas. And they didn't care that they were going to leave them there to die. They were thinking of their own salvation, like most humans will do. And they will turn on you in an instant, so you don't know who to trust. So that's how I saw it. I saw it as a love story building up on, I'm going to get my soon-to-be wife and my child and make sure that they don't perish alone. And if they did, just have confirmation that that's what happened. That's how
I said, it's a 6. Like, it's a movie that you could watch and enjoy. Yeah. And obviously I wouldn't pay for it, but I would watch it, you know. But yeah, I mean, but that's what I took. This was my interpretation of this shit. Sam's just another fucking 304 fucking dudes going to save her ass, and then
for all the viewers out there that don't know what a 304 is, could you please elaborate?
Oh, a woman
like why 304?
Huh?
Why 304?
Criminality for it, man.
Is it? I didn't know. I really, honestly, even me, I didn't know. So what a 304? I'm thinking you're thinking area code.
Sam a hoe, okay? Because she was quick to jump on that dick for some safety, okay? Wow. And then you know, Mr. Opportunist Jeremiah had been waiting so long. He didn't even introduce himself at all to Will, to the point that neither of these motherfuckers knew that they really exist.
Exactly. And that's how you know they were not smashed.
No, Sam didn't introduce. No, Sam didn't talk about his ass. Sam didn't. No, look.
Because he meant nothing to her.
No,
that's why.
No, because he's a side piece. You don't let your side piece meet your main piece, okay? That's how this works, okay?
Okay. Okay. So someone in this podcast has a little bit of trust issues, but okay, then that's fine.
But that's why we're brothers, man, because we offer different opinions of this.
Sure. But, you know, a good movie does that. It has different interpretations of how you want to take it as, especially when they leave room for your imagination to take over. So, yeah.
And so the name of this movie shouldn't be How It Ends. It should be How to Save a Hoe.
The one thing for me also...
Because he did go through a lot to save the hoe. He did.
Yeah.
I mean, he killed like 4 people, accident or intentionally.
Sure.
He watched his father-in-law die, but he at least made up to him, and I thought that was kind of cool. They actually made up.
Yep. And he also told them that he didn't sink his beloved prized boat. It was actually his daughter.
That he took you ready? And he took the blame for the hoax.
Yes.
Okay.
Which
So
means he's a good
once
dude.
again saved the hoe's reputation from her father. This motherfucker is a knight in shining armor for Princess Ho.
I tell you, and that's fine. I can see your point of view. I can see you have some issues that are deep seated and and rooted, and that's fine. That's it. But
and we have been friends for like 15 years now. If you haven't figured out I have issues by now, it's just
totally the end of the opposite end of the spectrum in this movie between you and I.
You accept me for those issues, so it's
Sure, of course.
But yeah, this movie should have been How to Save a Hoe. And it's like, in case the world ends, this is how you save a hoe. You're going to need your car. You're going to need you some gas. You're going to need you some guns. And you need to shoot her potential baby daddy, Jeremiah, the programmer, because I don't care what anybody says. Like, if your wife knows the neighbor and spend that much time with his ass to where this dude can fall in love with her, and she ain't mentioned it to you at once, be like, hey, this is Bob.
Let me put it to you this way. They were all on the plane and the plane crashed and they were the only survivors. They didn't know each other, right? But they're gonna band together to try to save each other's lives. Yes,
different.
Same as the building. So put the building as the plane, and it's starting to.
No, these are completely different. You're talking like years of being someone's neighbor and banging out on Samantha, and
we're assuming that it's years.
Huh?
They may have just moved in a week ago, 2 weeks ago.
No, it had to have been at least 3 or 4 weeks because she just got pregnant.
Sure.
And she needs to know her baby daddy for at least 3 to 4 weeks or whatever for it to show up. So they've been neighbors for at least a couple of months for Jeremiah to be the baby daddy, because I'm going with Jeremiah, the baby daddy, because he was way too excited about that baby too at the end of the movie. Way too, because no dude is excited about someone else's baby. They're not.
Actually, Will told him she's pregnant. You know she's pregnant.
You know, he probably already knew that because Chick's already been there fucking him. At some point, the conversation would have been like, you know what? Just to give a heads up, since the world is fucking ending and we're in this cabin, I got a baby in me. Look, I'm telling you, no dude is that excited about taking care of somebody else's baby. Okay, after the baby is born, then we get to know him. We're kind of like, well, you know, I'm a stepdad. You know, it's kind of what it is, and you kind of migrate eventually.
I don't think he knew she was pregnant until Will told him.
No, I think he did. I think it's Jeremiah's baby.
Okay. Okay, no.
People listen to this podcast and be like, yeah.
That's Shaun. It's got something going on. That's what they're going to say.
Yeah.
But hey, that's your interpretation. That is your right to interpret a movie that way. And that's fine. I have no problems with it. But
I know how the world works.
Gotcha.
And I've been in situations like this. I've been Jeremiah and I've been Will.
See, but that's it though. That doesn't make it that's what it's about. It's not about Shaun's life.
Yes, it is.
A concept.
Yes, it is.
If you choose to put yourself in this
thing, okay, and Sam is a 304, okay?
Gotcha.
She's not just for the streets. She's for under the overpass, okay?
All right, I got you.
Because
I don't see it that way.
Will is fighting for his life, trying to save her father's life, risking everything for her, and she's in there, bop, 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 bop. Jeremiah against the wall, against the. I'm telling you, man.
All right. So you stand by your 5.
Look, there's a certain amount of time you have to wait if you think somebody might be dead.
Exactly.
Especially,
So
I don't
she
think.
knew that her father and Will would eventually come after her because those are the type of people they are.
No.
Then why would she write on the wall of her apartment?
Look, I'm sure. I'm sure.
The address.
Look.
If they wanted her to not be with Will, she would have never written that address on her apartment, the wall.
I'm sure she loved Will, and I'm sure that's the reason why she wrote on him. Wait, I know hoes who love their men. I know hoes who would write where they're going to be on the wall. It doesn't mean look. 2 days into the shit, 3 days into the shit, they ain't on the next dude's dick until you come around.
I'm gonna pray for you, Shaun.
Look, I'm just keeping it real, okay?
I'm gonna pray for you, Shaun.
I'm keeping it real, okay?
All right.
And this is 2024, okay?
Okay. Well, the movie was made in 2000.
Sam's character probably has an OnlyFans, okay?
I think that movie was made in 2018. Was what it was.
2018 was the same thing. It wasn't like the world magically changed because of 2020. Like 304s exists in 2018. Sam probably has OnlyFans, okay?
All right.
Look, Sam's character would go on one of those podcasts, like the What's Up podcast and whatever, and start talking about what she deserves.
Did you get any sleep last night, Shaun?
What?
I'm just curious. All right, that's fine. But so your 5 still stands. That's what you're giving it.
Yeah. I mean, give it a 5 or a 6, like 6 max.
Okay.
And
I'm still gonna keep my 7. And like I said, I rated it low because
look, I would have rated it higher if they fixed the little challenges I had and Sam wasn't such a hoe. Now, because I was really rooting for Will to find a good woman, but Sam was a hoe. Okay.
Okay. I say hells to the gas. I think she was under, with the, I don't know, with what was going on in the world and that all the action and thriller that happened. It was still underlying love story between Will and Samantha, and eventually Will and his father-in-law became close. It's a bummer, and it's sad that it had to happen while he was pretty much on his deathbed, if you will, or death.
Matter of fact, I kind of wish that Forrest Whitaker's character shot Jeremiah in the head because of how much of a hoe and a homewrecker he is. Okay, wow. The fact that he didn't get to shoot him, that's what upsets me.
What I think, my opinion is Jeremiah went crazy because he didn't know what to do and he couldn't adapt. If he had his country log cabin, I'm pretty sure he was privileged in certain ways, and he just doesn't know how to become that person in order to survive a world like that. And he was scared. He wanted an instant kind of family, and it's just me and you. I'm going to take care of you now, and I don't want anyone else to come and try to poke their nose or put their whatever into our business. That's how I see it. So
we're obviously at an impasse on this one.
We needed Seth here in order to break this tie of how he saw it. Maybe we can ask him in the beginning of next week's podcast, and we'll see.
Nah, because the people who listen to podcasts are going to watch it, and they're going to agree that Samantha is a 304.
Okay, all right.
Some of them may be with you. Some of them may, but
I'm thinking the majority is going to go my way. But I mean,
I'll go ahead. Look. As your brother, as your friend, and business partner, I will gladly let you know that some will definitely agree with you. Okay. I don't know how many, 4, 5, 6, maybe, but some.
We will see. We will see. Maybe they'll go ahead and attach some comments to this podcast and say, but we'll see. But I definitely give it a health to the yeah. I would watch it again. As a matter of fact, I told my wife this morning you would love that, or you would enjoy the movie that we had to watch to review for our podcast. I would think she would like it. So.
She should be the tiebreaker. Be like, me and Shaun will have a
discussion.
Difference of opinion. We need to know.
All right, fair enough. I'll ask her.
One question: is Sam a hoe or not?
Okay, we will see. But I like I said, I thought it was if they built it up enough for that love. I thought they built it up enough that the love of Will and Samantha did shine through, and in that situation, you would do anything for the love of your life. That's how I saw it.
Yeah, no. Will was the bright and shining armor. I have no problem with Will. Will did everything that you would do as a person who loves somebody,
and so did
the Jezebel.
And so did Samantha. She left the...
No.
She was going to be on the wall. And she was looking out for her and Will's baby.
Jezebel.
That she had to take care of until Will joined them again. Okay.
My problem is the Jezebel, okay? That's my problem. My problem isn't and not just because he's the male, okay? Like, even after he was drunk, he went back to his hotel, passed out by himself, okay? Okay, he did everything right. I'm talking about Jezebel, who's going around trying to pretend that baby is Will's and trying to baby trap his ass. What's luckily for Will's characters, the world ended, so that means he can't go to jail for not paying child support.
Okay. All right. So I say health to the yeah. You give it your 5 or 6, so we should be good to go.
Absolutely. Until next week.
All right, buddy. Have a great week. We will talk then.